All right, welcome back to Targeted. I have days ago witnessed a world record happen. It's being confirmed right now, but in the studio here in Podwork studio, back here with the awesome crew, and Bill is behind the helm today. I just wanted to quickly say, I got a world record holder in the studio, and he's standing right here. On Instagram, he goes by Roy Gaines, but I'm going to let him introduce yourself. Say hi.
Hey guys, my name is Roy Orrantia, and well, first I'm a husband to a lovely wife. Her name's Colleen, and yeah, I'm a world record holder now. So it's technically it's an unofficial world record, unofficial, but in September it'll be official when I compete again.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
So September, what's next? I know you got Arnold coming up.
Yeah. So right now I'm training for the Arnold Arnold ProAm Strongman Competition. It'll be March 7th and 8th.
Okay, March 7th and 8th. All right. Yeah, no, I witnessed it. Very, very impressive.
I appreciate that.
1201.2? Is that what the actual?
Yeah, 12. It was technically 1201.5 when they weighed it all out. But there was the 1201.2. I think that's like the approximation, because 1 kilo is about 2.204 pounds.
Holy man. What was going through your head?
Well, so the weight I wasn't concerned with. What I was concerned with more was not losing my balance. Especially at weights like that, when you're exerting and you're kind of, twerking a little bit and shaking, you can lose your balance really easily. Mm-hmm. So especially with max effort lifts, I was just concerned about that. But luckily, the gym owner, he's a really cool guy. He lets me go barefoot. I like to go barefoot for my training sessions, and so I'll just feel way more stable, and like I can lift a lot more just being connected to the ground without shoes on. So
I get that. Now, does barefoot have anything to do with whether or not the record will be withheld or held?
So because it was at a qualifier competition, it's technically not an official world record through Static Monsters, because they own this competition, and then they have people host, and do qualifiers. So in September at this gym called ATP Gym, over in Ahwatukee, they're going to have the world's competition. So they're going to have like official judges there, and it's going to be like, any records that are broken, they're going to weigh out the plates. Yeah. It's going to be very official. So they're under new ownership. So I believe that's why they want to make it standardized. Any world records are placed at one competition, and you can't just break a world record at whatever competition. You have to do it at a certain time and date and under judges, and they want to do it their way. So I understand that. But yeah, right now it's about 100 pounds from the previous world record.
That's a big deal, man.
Yeah. So.
That's a big deal. And then your lift was 18 inches.
Right.
Right. So that means it was elevated just a little bit higher than 12 inches, right? It was the standard? So
the standard on competition plates with a deadlift bar is 9 inches off the floor.
9 inches, okay.
Yeah. So this was with an axle from 18 inches off the floor.
Yeah.
But with my height, it's basically still, 3 feet in the air. So
I remember when you stood up, and then I looked up, and then I saw the lights behind you, and I'm like, man, he's going to hit the ceiling. You're a big dude.
Thanks.
You're a big dude. Now, how long have you been doing this?
So I've been doing strongman since I was 19. I'm 28 now, but I've been a pro strongman since 2022. So now it's going on 4 years now.
So you were Arizona strongman in 20. I think your first time, right?
Yeah. So I'm also 3 times Arizona strongest man. 2020, 2022, and 2025.
How does this work to go pro? For strongman competitions and like actual, how does that work?
So in strongman, there's different levels. It starts with novice. So novice would be like, you have very little, less than a year experience. Then it would go to amateur. So amateur is anywhere from a year to 5 years, 10 years experience. It just depends on your strength level, really. And then if you start getting, nationally ranked, there's a corporation known as Strongman Corporation, run by a guy named James. I can't remember his last name, but really great guy. So he owns Strongman Corporation, and so if you win a pro show, you get your pro card, or a pro-am show, you get your pro card, and then if you win nationals, you get your pro card. So yeah, I just remembered, I actually have a card.
Dude, your wallet's big too.
But yeah, I have a strongman card. Yeah, so.
Hey, Jackson, I'm going to throw a picture. We'll throw this in there. That's cool.
Yeah, I just keep
It's
it in
heavy.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's no joke, man.
The owner, James, actually had that idea, and he gave it to me at America's Strongest this past Olympia this past September in 2025.
That's
so,
awesome.
yeah, I just remembered I had that.
That's awesome.
But, yeah, so I've been pro for 4 years now.
So, okay. So what made you get into this whole game? Now, wait a minute. Jackson, before we get into that, I got to show this lift, so throw it in there. Isn't that cool? All right, now tell us how all of that materialized.
Sure. So I didn't start lifting weights seriously till I was 14 in high school. But I remember like the earliest physical activity that I like ever practiced was when I was 8 years old. I didn't know how to swim. So I had to learn how to swim because we were going to move into a house that had a pool in the backyard, and I had a younger brother. So my mom was like, I want to make sure that at least you can swim. So if you have to save him or, you know, whatever the case.
Yeah.
So I started swimming when I was 8. You know, I was in good condition. Then I stopped swimming around 10-ish. And I put on a lot of weight.
Okay.
And so I was about 200 pounds.
Wow.
And like, it was kind of obese, honestly.
You were
like,
obese? That wasn't like working out weight.
Yeah, I was like really bad weight.
Okay.
So I was probably like anywhere from like 50 to 60 pounds overweight.
All right.
And so then, you know, 8th grade rolls around, and there's this end of the year like water park field trip, and I'm like, well, I want to be able to like feel comfortable, you know, so like I got to lose this weight. So I went from 200 pounds to about 140.
What?
In like 6 months.
Wow, that's a person. You lost a person.
Yeah, so I lost a lot of weight when I was about 12, 13.
Yeah.
So I lost a lot of weight, and I also grew like 3-4 inches, so I got taller.
Yeah.
So I kind of started, you know, getting a frame on me, and so all I did was calisthenics, like push-ups, sit-ups, you know, lunges, squats.
You're doing it at home?
Yeah, at home, you know, just running miles. You know, I lived by the canal, so I would just use the canal routes, and so it was really easy to like get out and run because I didn't have to like go anywhere special. And then I started football training, and then I was like, shoot, man, like I lost too much weight. Like I need to get bigger now because everyone's like big, strong, fast. You know, they can perform.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until high school, I went to Ironwood High School in Glendale, that I started really training seriously because their weight room is like a college level weight room. I mean, they have dumbbells all the way up to 100, 2 sets of them. They have 8 platforms, 8 squat racks, like just bumper plates, metal plates, leg press, like all the stuff you could ever need, like just completely outfitted, right? And so I just lived in that weight room. And every year there was this competition amongst all the high schools for top 3 lifts. And so my senior year, I won that competition with a 1250 total, so 1,250 total. So yeah, I squatted 550, I believe benched like 315, and then I also clean and jerked, or I mean just power cleaned 315.
Wow.
So yeah, that was kind of like my first like introduction to lifting as like a high schooler. And then it wasn't until after I came back from my mission that I found a strongman gym in Phoenix, Liberty Performance, and I just started training strongman because they had stones, you know, they had the log, the yoke, they had the space. That's the biggest thing as well, is you need space because you need to be able to, you know, run these implements, and you know, it takes time and effort, and it's just like if you're stuck in a small commercial gym, it just doesn't work, you know. So
yeah,
but yeah,
you said a lot there. All right, so when you went on your mission down to Mexico, you didn't lift at all. You were just on mission.
Oh yeah, so we trained a little bit, but it wasn't nearly as much.
Came back and got serious.
Yeah, so I had lost a bunch of weight on my mission. I came back, I was probably like 6'2" at the time, because I didn't get to 6'3" until I was a little bit older. But yeah, I came back like 200 pounds at like 6'3" or 6'2", and so I was really skinny. And so right now I'm at basically my heaviest is 325.
Okay,
but I'm like 6'3", so
all right.
A lot of people don't think that I weigh that heavy, but I'm like, no, I promise you, I look at the scale, you know.
Muscle weighs more than fat, man.
I mean, yeah, so we're trying to put it on well.
All right.
But
swimming still?
I can't swim anymore, actually. I'm not kidding.
Dude, I had Don
Fry. Like a rock.
I had Don Fry on the show, and he was talking about when he was in Japan, they had some reporters come up, and he was like, hey, it's raining. And he's like, oh, sorry, can't you guys can't film me training. And they were like, well, there's a pool up there. You can go swim in the pool. And he said he jumped in the pool and fell to the bottom because he didn't know how to swim, and he was just all muscle. So Muhammad Ali walked his way on the bottom of the pool. I'm like, man, everyone with muscle can relate to that.
Yeah.
Once you get in the water, you just sink.
Yeah, I have no buoyancy whatsoever. It's hilarious. My wife makes fun of me for it, but she makes fun of me for everything she can. So
your wife's a big, intricate part of your life. When did you meet her?
So I met her summer of 2020 because I remember we were going through COVID. So at that time, Liberty performed. Oh, you know, gyms were like shut down.
Yeah.
But like our gym, we stayed open underground.
Okay.
So we were like breaking some serious laws that had been, you know, enforced.
No.
You know,
you weren't. You were in there by yourself.
You know, well, yeah. So I mean, it's over now, but right. So
yeah, right.
Thank God. But yeah, I met her it's going on 6 years now.
You met her at the gym?
I met her at the gym.
Oh, the old school way, man.
Yeah.
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 She was like, hold my camera. And you were like, okay. Now, how did that work?
So it's funny because the day she came into the gym, she was trying to qualify for Strongman Nationals. And so she was just there, like, it wasn't her regular gym, right? It was kind of out of her way for her.
Yeah.
And I was a trainer there, and I was an asshole, just straight up asshole, you know. Had a very big ego, and have definitely been humbled, which I'm grateful for. And so
by her too?
Oh, by her all the time. Yeah, she keeps me honest. I love that about her, and she can't tell a lie.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
What's her name?
Her name's Colleen.
Colleen, all right.
Yeah, so she's very special. But yeah, so the first day that she came to the gym, I was training someone, so she was off doing her own thing, but supposedly someone had come up to her and been like, hey, that's the guy that does strongman training. Like, you should go talk to him if you want to really be serious about nationals. And so we started off, our relationship was strictly business. She was the training client of mine. Yeah. And I was also helping her friend Jo Robbins, who was a master's athlete. She was like 40 years old, but she had done bodybuilding shows and powerlifting, and she was like, I want to do strongman as well. So I was like, okay, you know what, like, let's do it all together. We'll just train all together, and you guys will, you know, cut a deal, and like, I won't have to do 2 hours of training now. I just have to do 1 hour because you guys can work together. Yeah. You know, so I trained them kind of like exclusively, right, for nationals. And so at the time I was abusing a lot of anabolics. Okay. Mainly trenbolone.
Okay, so you were on T-ball. Is that what it's called?
No, it's trenbolone's like it's a horse steroid. Tren.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So it's a very dangerous drug. But I was abusing that, and I was just like,
well, while you were
abusing
it, were you getting your blood work done? You were being safe with it, right?
At the time, I didn't have blood work done. Now I'm much smarter about things. Okay. And I'm only using tests now, thank God. But yeah, because of the medications I take as well, they have to look at, you know, my liver enzyme levels and all these other things. Mm-hmm. So I do get blood work now. So when I was younger, I didn't. And I was like, I wonder why I'm like almost passing out after all these lifts, you know, because just my blood pressure was crazy all the time. So yeah, but at the time I was, you know, 20, 21, not very smart. Okay. So still not very smart.
You were trying everything.
I was basically trying anything to get stronger at the time and trying to like kind of jump the gun. Mm-hmm. Even though at 20 years old I managed to deadlift 700 pounds.
I mean, let's go into that though. At strongman competitions, it's something that's recommended because of who are you competing against?
What do you mean?
And are you ever tested during strongman competitions for steroids or any type of drugs?
Oh, not at all.
Yeah.
No.
So you would expect if you're going to be competitive that someone is going to take some kind of performance enhancing supplement of some type. And so I've had bodybuilders, like professional bodybuilders, on the show. And we go through the whole progression of tests. And the first thing that anyone who's thinking about being a bodybuilder or a professional athlete to that level is in blood work.
Yeah.
but it's not something you think, or you don't think about that when you're first starting out. So that's why I stopped you. I'm like, and did you do blood work? Because you have to,
in the beginning, no. And I was wondering why it was basically like killing me. Cause like, I'm just like basically at the point where I'm, eating so much food, but it's like, it's just going right through me. I'm not holding on to anything, so yeah, I was just like a kid abusing any kind of drug that, I mean, it's just like, I tell people, they're like, well, what's it like? I'm like, well, it's just like any other drug, you can build tolerance. It can become an addiction. It can become a problem, it's going to affect your health, so it's all these things that if it's worth it to risk it for you, then I would say eventually do it. But like you said, now I do get blood work done. Yeah. I do donate blood and stuff like that. So yeah.
Do you know anybody that's addicted?
Addicted to steroids? Yeah.
Don't laugh. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I should laugh at that. It's an addiction, but
it's better than being addicted to meth, I would say.
I mean, for real.
If you want to choose what you're addicted to, I guess. But addiction is never good. It's just.
I don't know, man. I'll disagree with you on that. I like to win. So, like, how do I win? And some people call the way I win cheating, and I don't. It's just the process that I'm taking is different than yours. I'm willing to take more risk, and that's called cheating in some circles. But if there's not a rule that says I'm not allowed to do this, am I cheating? And there's no rule. There's no test for strongman competition. So is there a rule? And so is that cheating? And then so is that an addiction, or is that just being competitive? As long as you're doing it smart. Here's my saying. I used to tell all my guys this: if you're going to be stupid, be smart about it. Have you ever heard that before?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Different, yeah. I mean, so if you think you're going to be, if it's seemingly might not be the smartest thing to do, what's the smart way to do it? Because I'm going to try it and see if it works for me. Maybe not addiction, but I'm addicted to winning, right? Oh. But there's a lot of failures that come along the way of the winning circle. Like, you got to go through a lot of losses. And what does that loss circle look like? I don't know. But
yeah, I would just say that like addiction's more like destructive, whereas like if you have obsession, I think you're kind of more talking like obsession. I feel like.
I like that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So addiction, when does addiction turn into obsession, or vice versa?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's not like a clear-cut line, I feel like, because some people would be like, oh, well, that's unhealthy, but everyone has their own opinion.
Yeah.
And, like, if you're able to manage, like, for example, my wife's friend, Jill Robbins, she sleeps like 3 hours a night. Yeah. And she's fine.
Yeah.
But
people are built like that.
She's like, I just can't sleep more than a couple hours at a time, She's like, I maybe 4 hours out of the night. And she's like, but the thing is too, is like, she's very routine as well, right? So she always wakes up at the same time. She always goes to sleep at the same time. So it's like her sleep hygiene may be better than some people who stay up all night, sleep all the time. And, she's consistently sleeping at the same hours every day. There's circadian rhythms. Yeah. There's, science backed behind, hey, if you're sleeping at the same times and you have routine and it works for you, then everyone's different, right? So
do you sleep that much? How often do you sleep? As a big man, how often do you sleep?
So let's get into that, because honestly, it depends. I can sleep anywhere from like an hour to 10 hours.
Okay.
And the reason it's like that is because I suffer from schizophrenia. Mm.
Stay with us as we stay on target with another awesome episode coming up next. We'll see you there. And subscribe to Targeted Now. As an ambassador to buckedup.com, I get to give you our special discount. That's Atlas25 when you go to buckedup.com to get that special discount. Only for our listeners, Atlas25. Go to buckedup.com now.
Entrepreneurs, you're wasting money. Are you paying for TV, radio, maybe even newspapers? I gotta tell you, that's all dead. What's new? Well, I'm glad you asked, Atlas. It's podcasting. Just so happens I have a very successful podcast that I can put you on. And we're looking for guests. So if you have a product or service that will help people, hit us up. Atlas Aultman Targeted Podcast. We bring new audiences to new people, and we bring new people to, well, Check us out.